Just count me in. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Crawfordsville Athletics YouTube channel for tonight's high school football matchup between your Crawfordsville Athenians and the West Vigo Vikings. It's week 2 of the high school football season. I'm Josh Dillon alongside my partner Scott Smith. And Scott, last week, Crawfordsville fell in a mud bowl of a game at Greencastle, 9-0. And what did you see out of the Athenians last week, and what are you hoping to see tonight in terms of some improvement moving forward?
Sure, Josh. I tell you what, last week, as you mentioned, it was a mud bowl. It was hard to get. I mean, we walked out on the field after the game. Josh writes for he's the newest sports editor for the Journal Review, and I write for the paper. And we walked out on the field after the game, and it was just nothing but mud. And I'm telling you what, I thought defensively last week, Josh, we played really well. I mean, I know, mud, but I thought we were in positions, we were in the right spots, we made plays. Defensively, I thought we played really well. Offensively is where I really wanted to see a little bit more. Greencastle was getting some pretty good penetration. We weren't able to really establish a run game early, so later in the game we had to work with the pass a little bit, and anybody who's tried to throw a ball in wet conditions knows it's near impossible to throw a ball with what we had last week. So nice that we're out here on the green turf this week. West Vigo lost a lot last year. I know they lost their starting quarterback and their starting running back. So, and Crawfordsville went down there last year and was in the game in the first half. West Vigo had a big second half to kind of pull away late. So hopefully we see some good things from the Athenians here tonight and maybe pick up that first win in a couple years. One
thing I was very impressed with last week was the quarterback play of Cam Saunders. He had a couple of really nice throws down the field, a completion in the first quarter to Carson Tharp until Tharp got hit, left the game. He is back in uniform tonight, and we'll see him out there, and that's always good to see. He was carted off by ambulance last week. So looks like West Vigo won the opening coin toss and has elected to defer their choice. So Crawfordsville will receive the opening kickoff. They'll be defending the right end zone as you view it. And, Scott, this is going to be an interesting season for the Athenians with how the offseason went. And we have to touch on that a little bit in the last 90 seconds before we get underway here. And obviously you have the resignation of Coach Getz and the lack of assistant coaches before that happened,
Right.
And then now Sean Gerald back at the helm of the team now in his 5th season, right. After being away. So he's back in an interim basis, and he had a very abbreviated offseason to try to get these kids ready, and he's still trying to figure it out in terms of who's going to play where. So we'll see a lot of people shifting in and out in this lineup for Crawfordsville, and hopefully somebody can stand out today in this final preseason, or not preseason game, but non-conference game.
Exactly. And, you brought up a good point. I mean, the first time these guys were on the field together was the Sheridan scrimmage. Usually during the summertime, you get in a couple scrimmages, you kind of see what you have and see who can play where. And as you mentioned, Coach Gerald really didn't have that option, and he really didn't even notice, get to see guys in action until the Sheridan game. And then last week at Greencastle really wasn't a good evaluating point because of how muddy and sloppy it was. So tonight will be his really first true test of what do I have, who can play where, who can do what. And I'm sure they have a good idea, maybe a chance for a young guy to step in and maybe turn some heads. But Cam Saunders, as you mentioned, he's going to be the catalyst of this offense. And tonight, dry field, dry condition. I'm sure you'll see Cam throw the ball down the field a couple times, and hopefully we can get a good drive going here to start.
Hopefully we can stay dry as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think all the rain's out of here by now. So
hopefully it is a beautiful day for football. West Vigo headed out to their 40-yard line, getting ready to kick the ball away. We'll have 12 minutes on the clock here shortly as Crawfordsville ready to receive, and out there to take the opening kick back on the far side is Cale McCarty, and on the near side is the freshman Kagan Field, somebody that Gerald is very, very excited about.
Yeah. Kagan, you get Kagan some open field, and he's got some speed. He can break away. So very dangerous, two very dangerous threats back there for the Athenians. Game time temperature right now 68 and cloudy, so no chance of rain the rest of the night. It's supposed to rain maybe later on this evening, but hey, we don't care as long as it doesn't rain before 10 o'clock.
Dane Andrews to kick it away, and he does. He'll kick it to the near side where it will be taken by Fields at the 15-yard line. Running to his left at the 25, breaks out of a couple tackles, stays on his feet, gets to the 30, and finally wrapped up, taken down on the play. Gage Riker on the tackle, and Crawfordsville will set up 1st and 10 at close to their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, looks like about the 32, I'm thinking.
That's close to the 30.
Yeah, close to 30.
Yep.
32.
The 32 is where they'll spot the ball, and that's where we'll see Saunders and the Crawfordsville offense set up. 11:50 left on the clock here. They'll break the huddle. And Saunders will line up in the shotgun. 4 receivers out there, and the running back, Stephen Latre. Yep. And now he'll head under center, actually. So Saunders.
Something we didn't see last week, and he's going to take it right up the middle.
Yep, right up the middle. Gain of about 2 or 3 yards right into the teeth of that Viking defense.
Yep. Give him 3. That's something you did not see last week at all, Josh. We didn't see that one play. So
yeah, he wasn't under center at all last week, but this week he will go ahead and start there. So, and that's a good thing to see, in my opinion. You always want to see your quarterback under center. They'll break the huddle here. 2nd down and about 7 yards.
Yeah. This is the formation we saw a lot last week with Weimer in the forefront there.
Saunders will take the snap, hands it to Latre, trying to tiptoe through the line, and he'll fight forward, gain of about 2, maybe 3 on the play. We'll set up 3rd down and short, and that's something else we didn't see very much of in terms of last week's output, is a couple of easily converted 3rd downs anyway.
Right, exactly.
You don't want to say easily, but
well, you're in a 3rd and short situation rather than a 3rd and long. You know, you're not 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. You're about 3rd and 4 here. So 3rd and manageable. How about that?
3rd and 3 from the 39. Saunders in the shotgun. Latre on his right hip. He'll take the snap, drops back, looking to throw. Now scrambling to his right. Let's go of it while he's being brought down and incomplete, just short of the receiver. That'll bring up 4th down, and it looks like Crawfordsville will have to punt on this opening possession.
Yeah, I'm not sure who was playing defensive or offensive tackle over there on the right side, but man, the defensive end came in untouched, and Saunders didn't have a chance to set his feet or anybody even to run a route to get open. So,
sophomore Xander Wilbur back to return this punt for the Vikings.
Boy, he's not very deep.
And Saunders, one thing we did see out of Saunders a lot last week was the ability to kick the ball. He had 200 yards punting on only 6 attempts, and he has a strong leg. We'll see what he can do here.
Yep.
Chest high snap, he's got it. He kicks it away.
Well, that's a great punt into the...
And it hits off of Wilbur. Now it's loose and picked up by the Vikings. Wrapped up, taken down on the play. That's Peyton Suter on the tackle. Able to pick up the ball was Jarrell Scholler, and that was almost disastrous for the Vikings. And they'll start 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Good punt by Saunders, and a questionable decision there from the Vikings leads to about an extra 10-yard loss in field position.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm not sure why they didn't call for fair catch there, because he had Peyton Suter all over him. So I'm not sure, but West Vigo dodges the bullet much like Greencastle did last week, and Greencastle fumbled probably 8 times last week, Josh, and I think they recovered every single one. So
Dane Andrews, the quarterback for West Vigo, and he'll take the snap now, rolling out to his left, scans and throws, fires, and it's caught for about a 2-yard gain, and then running past the 1st down marker. That was Christian Orman, a sophomore running back, and he is a big boy, 6'3", 225 pounds as a sophomore, picks up the 1st down and more, and West Vigo gets a big gain on their very first play from scrimmage. They'll break the huddle again, and Andrews in the shotgun. It'll be 1st and 10 from the West Vigo 36-yard line. He'll hand it to Orman, and not much there as the Crawfordsville defensive line able to get on top of him quickly. Weimer on the stop from the linebacker steps up and makes a big hit. Gain of maybe 1 on the play, brings up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, good penetration by the Athenian defensive line there. Get back in the backfield, make the play behind, almost at the line of scrimmage. So
they'll spread out a few more receivers this time for Andrews. He'll be in the shotgun. Orman again on his right hip. Two receivers to the near side. Andrews back to pass. Now flushed out of the pocket, and he backs right into
Jesse Horton. Nice sack there by Jesse Horton, number 81 for the Athenians. Jesse with the big sack on the West Vigo quarterback. A loss of about 4 on the play.
I was looking through the roster. I didn't see him on there.
Yeah, Jesse's...
he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's right there. He's right.
53-81.
Yeah,
there it is.
That's him.
See, you sort everything by number, and then you can't find it.
Right, exactly.
3rd and 12 now, under 9 minutes left to play in the first quarter, and Andrews will line up in the shotgun. This is about the distance they picked up on that first play, so you'll have to watch the running back out of the backfield as he's a dangerous weapon. Andrews back to pass, throws, fires to the near side, completed and brought down by Anthony Gonzalez on the catch. Caleb Hannas makes the grab well short of the first down, gain of about 6 or 7 on the play. Will bring up 4th down and 8.
Gain of 5 there. So good open field tackle by Anthony Gonzalez. Made sure he wrapped up and bring up a big 4th and 7 for West Vigo.
Gonzalez and Suter back to return this punt for the Athenians. Looks like Andrews will be the punter, so quarterback-punter combinations for both teams. High spiral of a kick will chase. Gonzalez makes the nice over-the-shoulder grab at the 15. Now he'll run to his right, tries to get around a couple men, cuts back inside, and they collapse in on him, and he's still on his feet.
Oh, they called it dead.
They called it dead. Oh, my goodness. That's actually McCarty.
Yeah,
It's actually McCarty back there to return.
No, it was Gonzalez, but he pitched it to McCarty.
Oh, he pitched it. I didn't see the pitch.
Yeah, he pitched it to McCarty, and McCarty was going to take off, but they called the play dead.
So that'll pin the Athenians inside their own 15. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line as Saunders will get back to work offensively here. Athenians still looking for their first down of the game.
Yeah. So
they had a couple nice run plays on their last drive. Had 3rd and short, but couldn't complete the pass on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, Saunders. High snap, able to take it, hands it straight to Latre, and nowhere to go as he's wrapped up and taken down immediately. Loss of about 3 on the play. That's what that shotgun run will do for you if the defensive line can get through. Means that you lose a lot more yards than you do on a straight handoff.
Exactly. He lost 4 there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 14. Tell you what,
even more importantly, now you need to buy some yardage for your punter.
Exactly. West Vigo's doing a great job of getting in there and making plays in the backfield.
All the receivers to the near side for Saunders here. He'll take the snap and he'll hand it to Latre, running to his right, has some blocking, and able to run into the line, gains maybe 1 of those yards back that they lost in the previous play. Will bring up 3rd down and very long, 3rd and 13 for the Athenians. And this is something that Coach Gerald said last week. He didn't like to throw the ball a lot, and he had to because they were trailing after that early field goal against Greencastle. So now in this obvious passing situation, we'll see what Saunders and the Crawfordsville offense can dial up here. Split out wide to the left here, Peyton Suter, to Saunders' left anyway, as the ball's on the far side hash mark. Back to pass, Saunders looking, now throws the screen, and immediately able to make the catch, and the Vikings right there to take down Latre. And so that one didn't fool anybody. Another loss, and now you have to worry about that snap into the end zone for a punt here. Any type of a poor snap, and Saunders is going to have trouble getting it off before the Vikings are able to catch up to it.
Yeah.
Back again to return this time. It'll be Xander Wilbur again. He stands at about at the Crawfordsville 43-yard line, And now we'll have our first flag of the day.
Illegal substitution.
Yep. And that'll back Crawfordsville up another 5 yards.
Yep. Broke the huddle with 12 men, so.
Now Saunders will be standing almost on the end line. Now he's got to be really careful. Just a slight misstep of the foot, and that's 2 points for the Vikings. That'll move Wilbur up to the 39. Low snap. Saunders able to corral it and gets the kickoff, but it's going to bounce out of bounds at the 5, and he was just barely able to get that away. And what a play just to get the low snap.
Right, exactly, yeah. Cam's pretty athletic, so just a great job of him to reach down and get that snap and just get a punt off. I mean, I tell you, in that situation, I'd much rather see him just step out of bounds, you know, and now West Vigo will take over at the Crawfordsville 5-yard line.
Prime field position now for the Vikings as that low snap sets West Vigo up first and goal from the 4-yard line. And here comes Andrews and the Vikings offense. They'll bring everybody in tight here. 2 backs. And there's a pitch towards Braxton Gabbard.
Nice tackle. Who was that on the bottom of that ball? That was a great tackle.
Excellent play by the defense.
Stephen
Looks
Latre.
like in on it, Latre, Edgar Ruiz in on the stop as well. And Crawfordsville holds tight here on this first down play. We'll see if they can at least force a field goal attempt, as it'll be 2nd and goal. Gabbard, another bigger back, 5'11", 185 pounds. He checks out of the ball game here. They'll bring Andrews up under center. Single back behind him. They'll hand it to him. And Andrews has his hands on the ball as well. Fights forward. They get close to the end zone. And no signal yet from the officials. As fighting forward on the play.
Touchdown. There it is.
And there's the signal. Touchdown, West Vigo from 4 yards out.
Who carried that?
It looked like 40, but I don't see a 40 on their roster. So it must have been Andrews, the quarterback. He still had it, and he was kind of holding on with the same guy there. Andrews will hold on this extra point attempt from Emma Stevens. Good snap, good hold, low kick, and it's blocked. So 6-0 stays your score as West Vigo gets the first points of the game. 4:49 left in the first quarter. After a low snap and a botched punt play, will set West Vigo up. Good field position, and good field position usually leads to good scores.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, when you have it, when you get 4 downs from 5 yards out, you know, no matter what level you're playing, it's tough to get a stop. And, you know, West Vigo just, you know, kept everybody tight, and they just pushed it in and got it in the end zone. So good play calls by them. So that's
easy
a two-play drive.
Yeah, I was going to say easy scoring drive there. 2 plays,
seconds.
4 yards.
Yeah, yep. 52 seconds off the clock. So
That's always good news.
Yeah.
You didn't run too much clock off anyway, right. Although I think they'd rather have been able to get a stop out of that. And the blocked extra point could come into play later, too, as well.
Right. Exactly. So see how the Athenians, you know, if you're Crawfordsville, you want to respond here. You know, you got to get a sustained drive, move it down the field, get points on the board somehow. You know, that's what we didn't do last week. So you'd like to see Crawfordsville just march it down the field and put it in the end zone here, and at least make it a tie football game, or you know, kind of win the battle of field position here.
The return men for Crawfordsville. To the top side of your screen, Anthony Gonzalez. To the near side is Kagan Fields. They stand at the 10-yard line awaiting this kick from Dane Andrews on the approach. And he gets it away, kicks it towards Fields again. It'll bounce into his hands at the 10, across the 15 to the 20, cuts towards the sideline, gets to the 25, and tackled out of bounds right around the 30-yard line. And that's roughly where they started on the same drive to open the game. And that's where Crawfordsville will be now with 4:43 remaining in the first quarter. Just past the 30 there for Fields, the freshman. So we'll see what Saunders, Latre, and the rest of Crawfordsville's offense can set up here as the shotgun set. 3 receivers out there. And the man to the top side of your screen is Anthony Gonzalez. Saunders back to pass, looking. He's throwing Gonzalez's way. Leaping catch at the 35. Nice play, and he's able to hold on to the football, and a big hit out of bounds. Gets the 37, gain of about 7 yards on the play from Saunders to Gonzalez.
Yep. Nice pitch and catch there from Saunders to Gonzalez. Nice job by Anthony concentrating and going up and getting it. So
2nd and 3 from the Crawfordsville 37-yard line as the Athenians break the huddle. This time Gonzalez is running right toward you to the bottom side of your screen, one of the two receivers to Saunders' left. The senior quarterback makes the call, takes the snap, back to throw again, looking towards... That's Carson Tharp, and unable to corral it. Tharp visibly upset as he pounds the turf at around the 44-yard line of West Vigo, as that one just slightly behind Tharp.
Yeah, I tell you what, if he hits Carson in stride,
that's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown, yeah, exactly, because I don't think that defensive back stays up with him. And just a nice attempt there by Carson to try to haul it in. He almost had it, and that defensive back just ripped it out of his hand right at the last second.
A little too much air under that one, or maybe just not quite enough distance.
Right.
4 receivers out there now for Saunders. Tharp in the slot to his left. Gonzalez split out wide to the left. And Saunders under center, and he tries to run the same play they did on their very first offensive play. This time the Vikings right there ready for him as they're able to collapse and make the tackle. 4th and very short, about 2 yards. And I think the smart play here is to kick it away, but when your quarterback's also your punter, you never know.
Right, exactly. Looks like they are going to punt it.
Let's see. Tharp coming off the field, he's still upset. And I think he gave a Herculean effort to grab that ball. He just couldn't quite hold on as he hit the ground.
Right.
Saunders ready to kick it away. Xander Wilbur ready to return it. He stands at his own 30-yard line. Good snap this time. Saunders able to corral it. Low punt, end over end. It bounces and rolls, and Wilbur picks it up at about the 31. Makes a man miss. Suter in there to wrap him up and take him down at about the 38. And that is where the Vikings will take possession with 2:58 remaining here in the first quarter. They lead 6-0 over Crawfordsville, and this time around Crawfordsville has a little bit more turf to defend.
Exactly, yeah. West Vigo will have to take a few more yards than they did on the last drive, but, again, the Athenian defense has played pretty well so far. Let's see how they do here. Big turnover would be huge in this situation. 2:58 to go, but you like the passing game a little more with the win than against the win, so...
3 receivers now for Andrews. He's back to throw and lets one fly and able to make the grab and get to the 50-yard line is Gabbard as he fights forward into Athenians territory, tackled at the 47. Big gain on the play of about 15, 16 yards, and he can keep ripping off chunks of yardage like that, and they will be in the end zone very soon. Give them the first down. 3 receivers now to the left for Dane Andrews. As the solo man to the right is Brandon Stroud.
It's that running back out of the backfield there. Somebody did a nice job of stepping up that time.
But Andrews able to scramble away and fights forward close to the first down. He may have fallen forward and got it. He spotted just short, gain of 9 on the scramble, and that's the man left unaccounted in most defense. You don't usually have somebody covering the quarterback run, and Andrews took advantage of it.
Well,
the junior, 6'2", 205 pounds.
A couple times the man out of the backfield was wide open. This time we accounted for the man in the backfield, but we didn't account for the quarterback. So see what kind of adjustments the Athenian defense makes here.
Doubles formation here. Gabbard on the right hip of Andrews, and he's back to throw again. Deep drop, steps up and lofts it to the top side, and out of bounds is the...
That's offensive pass interference.
Colton Yates.
88 completely shoved Peyton Suter out of the way.
Colton Yates, the intended receiver, 6'4", 170 pounds, and there is a flag on the play, so we'll see what the call is. The question is are they going to rule that it wasn't catchable?
Yeah, they're coming back, so it's not on the Athenians. Of course, it's not a spot foul in high school, but pass interference on the offense. So,
so that'll be 10 yards.
88 completely extended his arms on that, and you could tell he just shoved Suter right out of the way.
I don't think Peyton would have been able to make a play on that ball anyway. Well, I mean, he would have, but it wouldn't have mattered because he would have been on the track.
Right, exactly.
So the minute 30 left, that 10-yard penalty will bring up 2nd down and 11 from the Athenian 48-yard line. So you get to keep the down.
Yep. Don't lose a down.
3 receivers to the right side.
It's a 15-yard penalty. That's what I thought.
Yep. They'll back him up even more as they correct it. So now back into their own territory at the 47-yard line. 3 receivers to the right side of the formation for the Vikings. Andrews takes the snap. Back to pass again. Thought he saw someone in a big sack. Big sack.
Salmons and Jesse Horton.
Yep.
On the sack there by the Athenians.
Back him up even more. 3rd and forever.
Yeah, that's all the way back to the 37-yard line.
And they need the 37 of Crawfordsville to get the first down. So nice. 3rd and...
Go ahead, sorry, Josh.
No, you're good. 3rd and... I can't do math. 3rd and 26.
3rd and 26. You're exactly on it. I had to wiggle my toes. I actually had to count Coach Welliver's fingers there, too. So, but we got there.
Play clock's at 3. Andrews back to throw. Throws short. Caught by the running back. That was Gabbard on the grab and immediately hit. Nope.
Yep, incomplete.
Did drop it. It's like Simmons was in again on the stop, and now you have to imagine West Vigo is going to have to kick this one away.
Right.
4th and 26. They don't have Donovan McNabb as the quarterback, so I think he was the one that pulled off 4th and 26. I'm pretty sure against Green Bay, if I recall correctly.
I don't remember. You may be right.
I think so.
I just remember the quarterback from Colorado beat Michigan.
It's a fake punt. Pass is completed. That's Stroud, and he's able to fight across the first down. Gonzalez trying to make the tackle, and he's loose and into the end zone for the touchdown, and boy, was I ever wrong.
For 63-yard
63-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 26.
Yep.
And they didn't even pretend to fake it. He took the snap and immediately threw.
Yep, exactly.
Stroud comes away with the big touchdown. It's 12-0 now West Vigo, and they'll line up in the formation to kick the extra point anyway, as Stevens out there. Her first one was low and blocked by Crawfordsville. We'll see what she can do here. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up into the air. It's a spiral and through the nope.
It's no good.
Must have been just short.
Yep.
I think the soccer goal got in my way there. I thought it got over.
I did too.
So that solidifies the score at 12-0 West Vigo. 27.9 seconds left on the clock here in the first quarter. And Crawfordsville, that's got to be one that Coach Gerald and everybody's saying, okay, everybody, we got to put that past us now because we can't be sitting here thinking about this, fake punt touchdown that they just ran on us. We still have 3 quarters of football left to play.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's just unfortunate, that he was wide open and nobody within 10 yards of him. So
I say that the broadcasters' jinx still works because I said they had to kick it away. Clearly they were listening and said,
exactly.
hey, you know what?
Yep.
We'll show you. Boy, if I had $1 for every time I pulled that off, I would be a rich man. My goodness. A fake punt on 4th and 26 yards. After a big sack, too.
Right,
Crawfordsville had all the momentum, and West Vigo took it right back. So Andrews now ready to kick it away. Good news is that they can't fake the kickoff. I mean, you do a surprise onside kick, but I think the special teams luck has been strong so far with West Vigo. I don't know if they're going to risk doing that and giving Crawfordsville really good field position.
Right, exactly.
On the approach, high end-over-end kick, and that will bounce towards Gonzalez. It gets past him. Anthony has to go get it at the 5.
Yep.
Cuts back to his left and trying to stay on his feet. Big hit. And 2 hands on the football at the 10-yard line as Gonzalez goes down. So Crawfordsville will have it 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line as that ball bounced and got behind Anthony.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you what, West Vigo has definitely won the battle of field position today. But you know what? That's what happens when you get the win behind you.
Yep.
So we'll see what the Athenians do here with 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter, trailing 12-0.
And here comes Saunders in the offense. 2 receivers to his left with Latre in the backfield. Now Tharp motioning across the formation, and Saunders will take the snap and hands it off to Tharp, trying to fight forward. And no gain on the play, and that will probably be the final play of this first quarter. And 12-0 is your score. We're through one. 3 left to play here in Crawfordsville's home opener. West Vigo leads 12-0. Such a tough break on that. Well, I don't want to call it a tough break because West Vigo had to earn it.
Right.
That was an excellent throw from the quarterback in terms of Dane Andrews, especially when you know it's 4th down. If you miss that one, I mean, it sounds silly to say because he was open. He had nobody within 10 yards of him, but those are sometimes the hardest throws to connect on.
Right. Exactly. And especially when the guy's that wide open. You look up and you're like, holy cow, how's he that open? But yeah, just a nice job by Andrews to get it out there and hit him in stride, and boom, he took it in for the touchdown. First quarter stats: the Vikings have completed 4 passes for 96 yards. They have 1 rushing yard, so 97 yards total for West Vigo. For the Athenians, they have 6 passing yards and 5 rushing yards, so 11 yards total for Crawfordsville.
Well, good news is Crawfordsville will have the wind as the teams have switched sides. And we'll see what Saunders can do here on 2nd down and 10. 12 minutes on the clock. West Vigo leading 12-0. As the Athenians breaking the huddle.
A few scores from around the area. North Montgomery and Hamilton Heights are tied at 0 after the first quarter. And North Putnam leads Southmont 14-7.
Saunders able to get the hard count and make West Vigo jump. We'll see if anybody made them. And the call is encroachment, so good senior quarterback leadership there, able to buy the Athenians 5 yards, and sometimes that can be the difference between winning and losing.
Exactly. Especially when your offense is struggling a little bit right now. Give you 5 free yards here to work with and see what they can do.
2nd and 5, Saunders back to pass, fires it towards Tharp, and that one's incomplete at around the 20-yard line as Carson spun on his heels and got his hands around it, but couldn't quite hold on as he hit the ground. They'll bring up 3rd and 5. West Vigo is pinning their ears back and going after Saunders. I think it may be a draw or a misdirection, and you might find Latre in some open space.
Yeah, they're bringing linebackers heavy up the middle here.
2 receivers to Saunders' left. Tharp in the slot. I believe that's Gonzalez split out all the way. And this will be Tharp on the motion, taking the handoff, trying to fight his way to the outside, and brought down near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's about 2.
And so that'll bring up 4th down and 3. And Crawfordsville will come out in punt formation.
Wow. That's their 4th drive, Josh. That's their 4th 3 and out. So
still looking for that first elusive first down.
Yep. See if they can get as lucky as West Vigo here.
We'll see. Here's the snap. It's a good one to Saunders, and he'll kick it high into the wind. And it'll go and bounce and roll all the way. Is it going to go to the end zone? It is. Oh, into the end zone. And he picks it up. Is he going to run out with it? No, he's not. It's automatically a touchback since it went to the end zone. So Saunders kicks it from inside his own 15.
Right.
And flips field position, and you got to feel a little bit for Xander Wilbur there as he kind of just stuck his arm up and took off after it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like he looked like a center fielder on a ball that was way over his head.
Exactly.
So the touchback will send West Vigo out now, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And at that point, Saunders is trying to get that ball to stop.
Right, exactly. Put some backspin on it. That looks like my 9-iron. It doesn't stop near the pin. It just keeps rolling off the green. So
here comes Andrews in the Vikings offense and motioning across the formation here. Take the snap, and he'll hand it to the running back up the middle, and nobody there as he fights forward across the 40-yard line, gain of 22 yards on the play, and that was Gabbard just fighting straight through, and he lowered his head and his shoulders getting ready for contact, and it just never came.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there was nobody there. I mean, nobody up the middle, and he just 23 yards before anybody even came close to touching him. So
they followed Scholar in motion. He was headed across the formation, and everybody thought that's where the ball was going. 1st and 10 from the 43 after that 23-yard gain from Gabbard. 2 receivers to the near side. Andrews takes the snap. They'll hand it off up the middle again. Not this time. As Tharp in there wraps him up, takes him down. Jesse Horton in on the stop as well. So fights forward, gets positive yardage.
Yep.
We'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Under 10 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. Crawfordsville did get a turnover, a couple of them last week, as they had an interception by Peyton Suter. See if maybe he can get another one, as you can see Tharp kind of creeping closer to the line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 9, and here's the handoff, and a flag flies on the far side and wrapped up, taken down. That looked like Caden Sonato.
Illegal motion. That's kind of in the area of illegal motion.
Caden Sonato was the ball carrier. Horton in on the stop, as well as Jacob Weimer. Still waiting on the official call here, as
illegal shifts.
Now you're in an interesting condition here. If you're Crawfordsville, do you take the 5 yards and give them the down, or do you decline it? Yep.
Good call by Coach Gerald.
I agree with the decline there. Make it 3rd down and 9. The Vikings offense has shown some potent plays and some firepower. So really backing them up 5 yards and giving them an extra shot at it isn't really a good idea.
No, exactly. Exactly. See what kind of 3rd and 9 play. There goes the ball taking off rolling. Tell you what, the wind is strong out there tonight. I'm not sure what it is, but coming out of the south, it's very strong.
And for the Vikings, they have to run straight into the teeth of that wind. On the left hip now of the quarterback, Andrews. That's Scholar. Andrews back to throw. Hit as he throws, and incomplete. Looking for Robert Dickerson. Took a big hit on the play. Helped up. That was Manson Simmons.
Simmons again, yeah. I tell you what, Manson has made a living back there in the backfield today.
See, now for Andrews, if he wants to try that fake punt again, he's going to have to throw it straight into a very strong wind.
Exactly.
And if he kicks it, I mean, I've seen winds like this before in which somebody kicks it and the ball, the wind will just take it back towards the end zone he's trying to kick it away from.
Right, yeah. You almost have to get a low line drive kick here. I'm sure that's what Andrews is going for.
Like McCarty and Tharp back to return, and Andrews' kick is high, and it's going to run right into that wall of wind and go out of bounds on the Athenians sideline. We'll see where they mark it as the side judge walks to the 47 of Crawfordsville, and that's where the Athenians will set up shop. 1st and 10, 8:22 remaining, down 12-0.
Tell you what, this is Crawfordsville's best field position of the game here, Josh. Let's see what the Athenians can do with it. Hopefully they can get their first down, drive the ball down the field, and
I think at this point, I think you split McCarty out with that wind behind Saunders, and you just let him launch one and see if McCarty can run under it.
Right. Looks like number 10 checks in here. I'm not sure who that is.
That's Michael Hanover.
Okay.
He is on the near side. Saunders out of the shotgun. Gonzalez is the man all the way split out to the left. Saunders hands it off Latre, and nowhere to go as the Vikings are just you see Hanover taking a shot there as
yeah, exactly.
We saw Caleb Hanna's in there trying to mix it up a little bit with the Athenians, and Hanover was having none of that.
No, he's like, hey. So give Latre a gain of a yard.
Gain of 1, yep.
Tough sledding up the middle for the Athenians.
The one thing about that wind is it's kind of intermittent. It's been going really hard, and then it stops for a little while, and then it gets back going again. And right now it is howling down there as 4 receivers for Saunders. Take the snap, throws laterally across the formation, and that's caught by Hanover, spinning, and nowhere to go as, again, the Vikings just collapse and find the ball. And there's 3 defenders on 1 receiver. You could see what they were going for there with that little bubble screen out of the slot, but
well, I tell you what, he had open field, and they just did a nice job of closing in and held him to no gain.
3rd and 9 here for Crawfordsville as they're still looking for that first down. 3 receivers. It'll be Suter split out wide to the left, Gonzalez wide right, and McCarty in the slot. Latre right behind Saunders. They'll take the snap. Senior quarterback throws it into the air, and the pass is tipped. That was Scholler, and he almost overran it and gave the receiver a really good shot at it as Suter could have came down and ran a long way, but able to tip it away as Scholler mistimed his jump. Like you said, that was a dangerous throw for Saunders.
Very much.
And it'll be another 3 and out for Crawfordsville, barring trickeration here on the punt. Saunders' last punt was, 85 yards?
82 yards.
82.
Yeah, well, maybe it was actually 88, sorry. Because he was inside his 15. So this will be a 66-yard punt if he makes it in the end zone here. But
he doesn't want to.
No,
it's a good snap. He'll kick it high, hang time here, as this one will carry with the wind. And it bounces and it's caught.
Yep, Gonzalez downs it at about the 20.
So almost landed on one of the Vikings, too.
Yeah,
that would have been.
I thought it was going to hit one of them, but they got lucky and got out of the way. So
just outside of the 20s, they'll spot it at the 21-yard line, and that's where West Vigo will take over. They lead 12-0. 6:41 left here in the first half.
That's the Athenian, Josh. That's the Athenians' 5th drive of the night.
5th 3 and out.
5th 3 and out.
Well, one thing Crawfordsville did well last week was to adjust at halftime. So we'll see if he is able to do that today, if Coach Gerald and the rest of the Athenians can. But they have to stop West Vigo first as they come out in a very tight formation here. Under center is Andrews. He takes a snap, turns in, gives running to his right. That was Wilbur on the run, and he'll gain about 2 or 3 on the play before he's taken down, gets across the 25-yard line. So West Vigo showing some versatility here with the ability to just come out in a different formation. Gain of 4 on the play will bring up 2nd down and 6 from the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that West Vigo's shown a lot of different looks tonight. I mean, pro set, bunched up, and they just keep. They're going to hand it off here.
Motion again, another handoff, and it looks like was that Wilbur again? No, that's Scholar with the handoff.
Number 18.
Yep, Scholar gets to close to the 30, gains about 4 again. Bring up 3rd down and 2. Crawfordsville able to hit him in the backfield, but he was able to fight forward, pick up a couple more yards. 5:30 left on the clock here in the second quarter. Crawfordsville could use a stop here. Can't jump off sides, though. Motioning is Wilbur, and now we'll see if somebody moved and false start. Yep.
Just what the doctor ordered right there, Josh.
Hey, I said you can't jump off sides. I never said anything about them backing up.
Exactly. That's their 3rd penalty for 25 yards.
3rd and 7 now from the 24.
Athenians with 1 penalty for 5.
That was something else I was impressed with Crawfordsville last week was the lack of penalties.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think they had 2 or 3, maybe? I don't remember. But not many at all.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of penalties. And Greencastle had a handful.
Yeah.
And a handful of really questionable ones.
Back to pass.
Here's Andrews trying to scramble, and he's wrapped up and taken down in the backfield as the entire Crawfordsville defense trying to get in on the hit here and down to the ground. That was Horton who fell toward the end. And that stop is going to be huge here. That'll bring up 4th down.
Yep.
He was able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
That was almost like a designed run.
It looked like it.
With a designed run because he didn't look very long. He kind of gave it a quick peek, tucked it, and took off running. I think they thought he might be able to scramble through the Crawfordsville defense and pick up a 1st down. So nice job of the Athenians keeping him in a box there and stepping up and making a tackle.
Got to keep an eye on everybody here as that's a high snap, corralled by Andrews. Low kick, bounces at the 40, rolls to the 45, and Got some extracurricular activity here on the near side, as that was Weimer and Marcus Hollifield were wrestling around on the ground for a little bit, trying to get untangled, but the ball is down, and Crawfordsville will have it in West Vigo territory at the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier, Josh, about winning the battle of field position. And the last two possessions, they've definitely done that. So they just haven't done anything with it. So let's see.
An 88-yard punt will help you with that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Here's Saunders in the shotgun. 2 receivers out there for him. The senior takes the snap. Flea flicker as he'll roll out looking to throw, and he just launches it into the air and out of bounds.
Boy, he had Cale McCarty wide open.
Oh, the problem was that he had defenders right in his face because nobody bought the flea flicker.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it'll be a penalty on Crawfordsville, an eligible man downfield. That'll back the Athenians up into their own side of the field if it's accepted.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I think, we talked earlier about declining the penalty on 2nd down. But this time around, if you're West Vigo with the lead, you want to back Crawfordsville up as much as you can and try to flip that field position. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 49-yard line. 4:05 left on the clock here in the first half. And here come the Athenians. McCarty split out wide to Saunders' right on the near side of your screen. Out of the shotgun. Saunders able to corral the snap, and he's just going to take off with it. Gets across the 50, lowers his shoulder, fights the 45, spins, and brought down by a horde of Vikings.
Nice job by Saunders picking up 7 yards on that play. What could have been disastrous.
Had to make a nice one-handed snag of the snap. And
Exactly.
That'll bring up 2nd down and about 8.
So, yeah, good
Trying
play
to figure
by
out.
Saunders.
I was trying to figure out what to call a group of Vikings at this point. I was thinking, longboat.
Right.
You got a longboat, a ship, a horde.
Yeah.
I went with horde.
Probably horde. Yeah, I would go with horde.
So here come the Athenians. McCarty in the slot to Saunders' left, and split out wide to the left is Gonzalez.
Yep.
And now we got a flag.
Both receivers kind of flinched there. Good call by the line judge.
Have you ever seen the false start, everyone but the center?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That's always a good one.
Yeah.
Although I still think on that play it was actually the center's fault because everybody else went. So
right,
I think
exactly.
he didn't hear the right. He didn't hear the right snap count in the huddle or something.
Right, exactly.
2nd down and 13 now from the 49-yard line.
So Crawford comes into this drive. One penalty. They have 2 to start this drive.
There's Saunders out of the shotgun, back to pass, looking to his left. Now pulls it down, and while running up to his left, throws it into the air, and the pass is batted around a little bit. A diving attempt there from Weimer, but it falls harmlessly to the ground, incomplete. And Saunders has that wind behind him, and he's smart enough. He knows that if he can get it up in the air, the wind will carry it. Right. But it's still tough to throw when you're right-handed and rolling out to your left.
Exactly.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 13. 3 minutes left on the clock in the half. Crawfordsville still trailing 12-0, still seeking that first elusive first down. They'll break the huddle. Suter to the right side on the near side of your screen. McCarty in the slot. Gonzalez split out wide left. And Stephen Latre in the backfield for Saunders. Back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Right, and now split out. Scrambles. He's got room. Gets to the 40 and runs out of bounds. Just short of the 40-yard line.
About the 42,
big
looks like.
Gain of 8, maybe.
7. Yeah, gain of 7.
Gain of 7 will bring up 4th down and 6. And now that wind, you kind of have to consider maybe going for it because if you're just going to kick it in the end zone and only get 20 yards of field position.
Right, exactly. Yeah, 2:52 to go ahead in the first half. Down 12-0. You need to try to get a first down here.
You need to stop that rush coming straight through the middle.
Exactly. Because it's coming again right here, I can guarantee you.
2 receivers to Saunders' right. Takes the snap. 4th and 6. Back to throw. Stands tall. Throws. And it's incomplete. Intended receiver was Weimer. He slid down and couldn't quite corral it. And that'll be a turnover on downs. 1st and 10 going the other way for West Vigo. 2:47 on the clock. And the Vikings will have it close to midfield.
Darn. Well, that would have been big to pick up that first down, keep that drive going.
That would have been huge. Couple of fourth down momentum swings now for both teams. As here come the Vikings. Two receivers to the left for Andrews, and one will motion across the formation, and he'll take the snap, hand it off to the running back up the middle, and gets to midfield, running to his left. Big hit taken down. That's Manson Simmons on the stop.
That's Nate Schrader. Nate Schrader coming from behind on that. It might have been Manson on the stop, yeah. Who was that? Was that 19 carrying the ball?
Yes. It was 19.
19.
It was 19. That was Caden Sonoda. Gets into Athenian territory. Gains 9 yards on the play. Brings up second down and 1. Two receivers to Andrews left. Coming up on 2 minutes left in the quarter. A motion across again. That's Wilbur on the motion. He'll take it out of the snap and running to his right. Finds some space. Gets across the 40 to the 35 and knocked out of bounds.
That's a flag.
Flag will fly for the late hit. So add 15 to it. On the personal foul, he spotted out of bounds. The 33. Add 15. Or subtract 15 in this case. We'll bring it all the way inside the 20. Mentioned earlier that Crawfordsville was doing an excellent job of not committing penalties, and now the personal foul will set West Vigo up in the red zone. They'll march it off.
Should be at about the 17-yard line, maybe the 18.
Right around there.
The 18,
Yep. So first down and 10 from the 18. Split out wide to the left here is, I believe that's, now we got whistles blowing and stoppage of play here as it looks like it'll be a timeout.
Yep, timeout Athenians. A minute 57 to go here in the second quarter.
You don't get to keep them.
No. But I tell you what, man, we need a turnover. We need something big right here because you give West Vigo a three touchdown advantage going into the second half, and
I've been informed that a group of Vikings is a clan by Bob Cox here in the press box.
Yes.
On Netflix.
Oh, yep.
Group of Vikings is a clan. Okay, duly noted.
We'll remember that. You
Maybe.
Remember that. Yeah, because I may not.
I don't know. I might still call them a longboat. That might be more fitting.
A big Sagamore Conference score. Western Boone leads Lafayette Harrison 14-0 in the second quarter.
I picked Western Boone to win that game.
Did you really?
Wow. Well, remember what I said earlier. I don't know the team, so
that's true.
Western Boone won last week. What, 50 to 12? So I was like, okay, yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I got to see them for the Jamboree, too, because I was in there for Fountain Central, because that's where they played.
Yep.
Back to action here. First and 10 from the 17-yard line. Andrews takes the snap and gives, and up the middle, and Crawfordsville's defense right there. Manson Simmons again in on the stop for the Athenians. Short gain, maybe one on the play, will bring up second down and 9. And even if you can force a field goal attempt here, that's something you can take away as a short or a small victory, considering the 15-yard penalty.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But if you're West Vigo, you want to make Crawfordsville pay for that personal foul. And coming under 90 seconds left now. Second down and 9 from the 16. Here's Andrews. Shotgun formation. Motioning across is Weber, and that's a fumble. Ball's on the ground, and
I'm not sure who got that. He may have fallen back on top of it.
I think he did.
He did, yep. They're saying he got on top of it.
That was Xander Wilbur motioning across, and he's had an adventurous day. You remember that very first punt. He didn't call for the fair catch. And
right.
It was
almost.
It was almost a disaster there for them.
Almost disastrous. Looks like one of the Athenians are down on the field.
Yep, we got a man down.
Yep. That might be. Is that Tharp?
Looks I don't see him in the. I was gonna say I don't see him out in the lineup there, so that very well might be.
They had a lot of issues with cramping last week, so maybe assistant cramp Dr. Douglas, the athletic doctor, is still standing on the sidelines. So but Doug's out there. Yeah.
Got to stay hydrated.
Yep.
Easier said than done.
Exactly. 52.3 to go here. Vikings facing a 3rd and 12 from the Athenian 20-yard line. So
back-to-back strong defensive efforts from Crawfordsville.
Right.
Carson's back up on his feet, walking off under his own power. Always good to see that.
It is.
Especially
considering
considering the alternative.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd rather see him walking off than
being carted off
in the ambulance
last Friday night. Yeah. So third and 13 for the Vikings from the Crawfordsville 20-yard line. They lead 12-0.
And they've had a couple big plays, although the biggest play was a 63-yard fake punt.
Yep. Timeout Vikings.
Timeout West Vigo.
Yep.
So more time to kill here. As we had Crawfordsville Soccer pick up a big win yesterday over Southmont, 2-1. That was a good game.
The volleyball team dropped 3 games to none to Seeger yesterday.
Yes.
Let's see if I can get some scores here. North Putnam leads Southmont 21-14 in the second quarter. Hamilton Heights leads North Montgomery 7-0 with 7:15 to go in the second. So
that should be a good game.
Scores. Do what?
That should be a good game.
Yeah, Hamilton Heights and North. Yep. North Putnam is kind of surprising a little bit that beat North pretty handily last week, and then now they're leading Southmont. So
hopefully that'll be a good game for the Mounties to come back and
exactly.
Come away with a victory.
Big rivalry game next week at Southmont, I think, North and South.
Yep,
so
North and South next week.
Big Civil War, and then Crawfordsville will host Western Boone here at the Athenian Complex.
Back to action here. Here's Andrews looking to his right. Throws the curl, and it's a catch and a hook and lateral play.
Yep.
Able to grab it was Zachary Davis. He pitched it back. That was Caleb Hanna's making the catch.
Yep.
Zachary Davis.
Zach Davis
wrong roster.
You're right. You're right.
So some trickery there, and West Vigo picks up the first down. The ball all the way to the 4-yard line. It was Hanna's to Sonoto, I believe, on the hook and ladder. 35 seconds left. Got a lot of time being run off the clock here. Andrews looking to his sideline, trying to figure out what's going on. He'll take the snap, now rolls out to his left. He's going to run for it. Tucks it. And a big hit, diving for the end zone. He gets in for the touchdown.
Yep.
Dane Andrews. But there's a flag on the far side. Let's see what the call is. 17.3 seconds left on the clock.
Well, no flag.
No flag. They'll pick up the penalty, and Coach Gerald headed out to ask what they saw originally. He's at about the 20-yard line. And whatever he's probably yelling toward the official, the wind is probably taking it all the way across to the other side of the field.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
18-0 your score. 17.3 seconds left, and now the official coming over and letting Coach know what was going on. With the wind, we'll see if West Vigo wants to kick it through or if they're going to attempt a 2-point conversion.
Yep, they're going to go for the 2-point conversion here.
2 receivers to the near side. Andrews is going to throw, and now he's flushed. Yep. Wrapped up, taken down. That was Manson. Simmons again in on the stop. And so no 2-point conversion for the Vikings. 18-0 stays your score. 17 seconds left. And Crawfordsville will get the ball back.
But they'll kick the ball.
Yeah, they'll kick the ball away to start the second half. So, yeah, 17 seconds left to try to make something happen.
So
even if it's to set up a long field goal with the wind.
Right. The Vikings went 58 yards in 6 plays, capped by an Andrews 5-yard touchdown run. So
and a big 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, the big 15-yard penalty definitely set him up in great field position. So.
And not being able to fall in the fumble was another one.
Yep, that's true.
They did put the ball on the ground and were able to recover their own fumble. So now if you're Crawfordsville, and you know with the wind, it's probably going to be a lower type of kick, so your return men should probably stand up a little closer as they'll set up. It'll be McCarty towards the top of your screen. Fields walking at about the 15-yard line, just outside of the 15-yard box. Now they'll move up to the 20. So all 3 extra point attempts for West Vigo have failed.
Yes. Andrews kick too? Yeah, he does.
Yep.
The punter, the kicker, and the quarterback.
Gotta love it. He's a versatile man. On the approach, right foot into the ball. It's on the ground and falling on it.
I think it's Jacob Weimer. Nope.
That was Thomas Weir.
Thomas Weir
falls on the kick at the 45. And now that short kick does set up Crawfordsville with the ability. They still have a couple timeouts left that they can try to set up a kick.
Yeah.
If they can just get some offense going. But you got to get that first down. That's got to be the...
Yeah.
Right now you got to go, hey, we got to at least get a first down. Even if we can't get any points on the board right now, we got to at least get a first down. We'll see what the Athenians can do with Saunders here. The shotgun, 2 backs in front of him. You got Latre behind him, and they'll hand it to Latre. Will fight across the 40. It's close to the 45, so that's a gain of about 4 or 5.
Yep. Gain of 7.
And that will...
It's the end of the...
Nope, we had a timeout called Crawfordsville, so what's Coach Gerald got going for him here? I mean, if you were content to just let the clock run out, you would have just let it go.
Right,
so
exactly.
What's Sean cooking up, you think, here for this last 3 seconds?
Hey, it worked for them. Why not run the hook and ladder here? You know? See what we can do.
I mean, you definitely don't want to give up another play with the wind.
No.
That for sure.
Right, exactly.
But you got to protect him too.
Right.
And you don't have to get the ball into the end zone. You just have to get the ball to somebody close enough that has enough space and enough speed. And now you see the West Vigo defense, and way back, Chandler Smith is standing at the 25.
Yeah, they're in punt return formation here.
And I believe this is the everybody go play.
Right, exactly.
You keep going.
We're just going to throw it down the field, somebody jump up and catch it.
Well, we'll see if Crawfordsville has some magic. Here's Saunders, 3.1 seconds left on the clock. He's back to pass. They still rush. Here's the throw, looking for Gonzalez, too high and incomplete off the hand of Anthony Gonzalez, and that will end your first half. Crawfordsville trails 18-0. We still got 24 minutes of football left. And we'll be back with some halftime stats in just a moment.
Yeah, you want to go ahead? Coach, you want us to go ahead and sign off to about 3 minutes to go? You want us to do that? Okay. You want to do that, Josh?
Yeah, we'll just take a break for halftime, and we'll come back with the second half in just a little bit. You are watching Crawfordsville Athenians football on the Crawfordsville Athletics YouTube channel. And welcome back to Crawfordsville High School for Crawfordsville Athenian football. 2 minutes away from the second half starting here. West Vigo leads your Athenians 18-0. Josh Dillon alongside
Scott Smith.
Alongside my partner Scott Smith. Right. I was like, I knew Scott. I was trying to remember the last name, and it's it's the easiest last name to remember. And of course, I spaced it.
Yep.
And Scott has some of our first half stats, and West Vigo kind of running away with it in the first half, to say the least. Though the big play coming on a fake punt in which Dane Andrews completed a 63-yard pass to Brandon Shroud on 4th and 26. That went all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. Crawfordsville's strongest play so far in the first half was an 88-yard punt by Cam Saunders.
Right,
so,
which actually turned the game in field position, but the Athenians couldn't capitalize. So the biggest story in the first half, really, Josh, is 7.
First down.
That's the number of 3 and outs that Crawfordsville's had in the first half. So Athenians with 25 yards of offense, 6 through the air. Cam Saunders is 3 of 11 for 6 yards. Stephen Latre has 1 catch for -2. Anthony Gonzalez 1 catch for 8. Michael Hanover 1 catch for 0. On the ground, the Athenians have 11 carries for 29 yards. Saunders 5 for 17. Latre 5 for 10, and Carson Tharp 1 for 2. For the West Vigo Vikings, they have 167 yards of total offense. Andrews is 5 for 7 in the first half, 111 yards passing. Gabbard, 2 catches for 28 yards. Hannah's 1 catch for 15. Stroud, that big catch that you just spoke of, 1 catch for 63 on the fake punt. And Scholler, 1 catch for 5. On the ground, they have 16 carries for 56 yards. The big play was Gabbard up the middle for 23 yards. Wilbur has 3 carries for 18. So, defense isn't playing bad. You score, first touchdown comes on a block punt. They take over at the 5-yard line. 63-yard fake punt, and then
not on the defense for that one.
Their third touchdown came on a nice first down run, and then a 15-yard personal foul moved them 15 more yards up the field. And they had a short field to work with, and who was it? Andrews just took it into the end zone and scored a touchdown. So, yeah. So, Athenians got to get some offense going here in the second half. 18-0. They're definitely not out of it. They have big play capabilities, as we saw a little bit last week in the pass to Gonzalez down the sideline. But got to get something moving here. No first downs for the Athenians in the first half.
That's going to have to change. I mean, you can't, on your home turf, in your home opener,
right?
You can't not gain a first down. That is. I don't want to say, it's obviously something that's going to be demoralizing for the rest of your season if you can't convert a first down at home.
Right.
So that's something Crawfordsville's going to have to, I think they just need to play a little bit looser. Just go out, play the game you've been playing your whole life. And that's something that, they got the win for the next 12 minutes. So that'll be helpful too. So
right.
We've seen, we saw what West Vigo was able to do with the win. They put up 2 touchdowns with the win. There's no reason Crawfordsville can't do the same.
Right.
But it starts with protecting Saunders, and that's where you have to either roll him out of the pocket, which is something they have been doing really well, but maybe roll him out towards his right side, instead of rolling him out to the left where he's at a disadvantage throwing.
Right, exactly. And West Vigo has found a lot of success rushing guys right up the middle, and forcing Cam to throw on the run, and maybe we do a few more quick slants or something like that. Give him a 3-step drop. Let him get the ball out of his hands quicker and try to hit a receiver kind of in stride a little bit. But
and he's been hurt by drop passes today too. That's
exactly.
Been something else.
Yep.
He's hit. He hit Weimer, which would have been a first down, and that was on 4th down, and it bounced off his shoulder pads and went incomplete.
Right.
And it's not a question of effort. The effort's there. The question is just execution and staying disciplined. You can't have any more 15-yard penalties for hitting people out of bounds.
Right.
That's and I don't think that was intentional either. Obviously, you just you're chasing after a guy. You've been chasing him for 20 yards, and you finally get a hold of him, and you got a hold of him out of bounds.
Right. So, exactly.
And that's a case that happens when you don't have a lot of practice time and you don't have a lot of prep time and you have to install a new system. And that's something that these coaches have been doing a good job of. But it's such a monumental task in front of you to be able to step in with 2 or 3 fewer weeks,
right,
and then have to rebuild everything.
Right.
And so it's it's there. And one strong thing for Crawfordsville, and something that I talked to Coach Gerald about, when I wrote my preview, is as you develop this system and once it clicks, good things can happen once it all gets figured out.
Right, exactly. And like you said, you have the next 24 minutes to get some positive going, and hopefully defense can come out and get a big stop here to start and win the field position battle again, turn the field in the favor of the Athenians, and the offense can go down, punch in the end zone, and make it a 2-score game. So.
And the other thing is spotting your opportunities, because West Vigo did give Crawfordsville a couple opportunities for really big plays in that first half. You had a dropped, the ball hit the ground on a couple different occasions for fumbles, one on the very first punt that you did, and then another one when you're inside your own 5 defending. Those are opportunities you have to capitalize on as a defense. You have to get that ball back every opportunity you can. And one good thing for Crawfordsville is they have not turned the ball over. So that's one big positive, and something that obviously every football coach wants to avoid. You don't want to turn the ball over, but at the same time, how many 3 and outs equals 1 turnover?
Right.
So.
Right. Yep, that's true.
So that is the end of the halftime break here, and we'll be headed back to action shortly. 12 minutes on the clock here in the third quarter. West Vigo leading 18-0 over Crawfordsville. And the Vikings will start with the ball. They are on the left side of your screen in the white uniforms, green numbers, black pants, Crawfordsville. On the right side of your screen, blue uniforms, yellow helmets, yellow pants, yellow numbers, and white socks. Referee talking over with Crawfordsville, and looks like we got a different kicker here kicking away.
Matthew Cook, I think it is.
So Cook ready to kick it away here. Anthony Cook.
Anthony Cook, sorry. Yep, you're right. Matthew's his brother.
See, I wouldn't have known that. So
that's.
So Cook will kick it away from his own 40-yard line. Crawfordsville going into the wind. So they'll have the wind for the fourth quarter. So Cook leans back, points. One man back to return for the Vikings, and it's a ground ball kick. Bounces high, and it's off and loose on the ground, and somebody's got to fall on it for Crawfordsville. And Kagan Fields was in the area, and he just kind of slowed up a little bit, expecting the block and trying to fight through it. And West Vigo able to fall on top of the football at the 33-yard line, and that's where they'll start this drive. 1st and 10 with 11:51 left on the clock. And quarterback Dane Andrews back to work for the Vikings, and he had an excellent first half, I would say.
Yep, 5 for 7, 111 yards. So nice job by him, very, very efficient. So there's one of those opportunities, Josh, you spoke about that the Athenians just could not take advantage of.
So here come the Vikings, 4 receivers, and Andrews in the backfield with the running back on his hip. He'll take the snap, back to throw, and throws immediately tipped into the air, and it's a leaping catch by Stroud. Good play by the defensive end there to get his hand up and deflect it into the air, but unlucky bounces. It goes straight to Stroud, who makes the grab for a 2-yard gain. But that's a nice strong stop on first down if you're Crawfordsville. Gain of actually only 1.
Nice job by Nate Schrader to get his hands in the air there and knock that ball straight into the air. Again,
you do that enough, and eventually you come down with 1.
Right, exactly. Just like you said, though, just can't take advantage of an opportunity. So
2nd and 9, 2 receivers to the right side, and this will be a snap and a bubble screen here. Caught by Caleb Hannes, fights towards the sideline and out of bounds. And see, Coach Gerald saying the ball came out, and the referee signaling that the possession stays with West Vigo. Crawfordsville came away with the football, but he was already out of bounds before he let it go. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 5. Crawfordsville really could use a 3 and out here from West Vigo as the Vikings, with the wind, they break the huddle, and they'll send 4 men out in the formation, 3 to the left side of the quarterback Andrews.
Watch the run play here.
He'll take the snap, looking to throw, looking to his left, throws over the pass is caught. The 40, and he is loose toward the end zone. That is Xander Wilbur into the end zone for a touchdown for West Vigo. Quick slant play, and Crawfordsville backed off a little too much and gave too much space for Wilbur, and it's an opening drive touchdown in the second half for West Vigo.
Caught the defensive back staring into the backfield and ran right across his face and right into the open. Nice job by the quarterback to hit him in stride, and he was gone.
They are going to try him.
Emma Stevens coming in to kick the extra point, and her day has not been the greatest so far. She's had 2 attempts. Both of them one of them was blocked, and then one of them was short. This one is up, and it's a little wobbly, but through and good. 25-0 your score. 10:20 left in the third quarter, as Crawfordsville will get the football for the first time in just a little bit. And Scott, that is not what you wanted to see if you're an Athenian fan in terms of the ability to drive down in just 3 plays for a touchdown, especially after a couple opportunities with the ball up for grabs, and even a fumble recovery that Coach Gerald was trying to fight for on the sideline there,
right,
in terms of something to flip this around.
Yeah, I mean, you do a good job on the first 2 passes, facing a 3rd and 5, from the 62. You just, you want to try to tackle them in front of that first down marker, and Wilbur just cuts it right across the middle. Andrews hits him in stride, and boom, 62 yards later, they lead 25-0. I mean, that's just a play that you have to make. Somebody's got to step up and make a tackle there, and unfortunately for the Athenians, they fall behind another touchdown.
Kagan Fields ready to return this kick for Crawfordsville. McCarty back there as well. Fields is the one closer to the bottom side of your screen. Fields on the far sideline. And it's Andrews ready to kick it away since he's got the wind. Expect this one to go up more into the air, and that's why the Athenian return men standing right around their own 11-yard line awaiting this kick from Fields. Excuse me, the kick from Andrews. On the approach, right foot into the ball, and it is up end over end toward Fields. It bounces at the 20, goes off of his knee. He scoops it up, and now he'll take off to his right. Has some room if he can get past one man and dives forward to around the 30-yard line. That's where Crawfordsville will set up shop. 1st and 10, trailing 25-0. 10:14 left on the clock for the Athenians. And what do you expect to see from them offensively here, Scott, in terms of you're down a lot.
You're down 4 scores at least, four scores. So you have to get something. You have to move the ball on 1st and 2nd down. You can't force yourself into a long 3rd down play. And so Crawfordsville's got to establish either a run game or a short passing game here.
Saunders with the option pitch to Latre to the outside, gets across the 30 and gains more yards laterally than he does going forward. Gain of only 1 on the play, but Saunders had to get rid of it almost immediately on that option.
I'll tell you what, West Vigo does a great job of closing space. I mean, it looked like Latre was going to get a couple more. It looks like he was going to get about 5. And West Vigo just did a nice job of, surrounding him and making the tackle in open space. So they're quick to the football.
Give him 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8. Here's Gonzalez split out wide left for Saunders. Latre in the backfield. McCarty in the slot. Saunders rolling out to his left. Has to throw immediately. That's Weimer with the grab. And gets no gain on the play. Brought down immediately after he caught it. You see Saunders telling one of his receivers, get out there, get into some space, and let me get you. But pressure immediately in Saunders' face before he can even think of where he's going to throw.
Right.
You can't read the defense if you got somebody right in your face.
Right, exactly.
3rd down and 8 from the Crawfordsville 32-yard line. Pair receivers out to Saunders' right. Latre in the backfield. The senior quarterback takes the snap, back to pass, sets up and throws over the middle, and it is incomplete. Anthony Gonzalez and McCarty in the area. Gonzalez was running, it looked like the route that Saunders was looking for. Either that or McCarty was supposed to cut in. Don't know. Obviously we don't get the lines on the field to tell us who was supposed to go where.
Exactly.
But that was you never want to have 2 people in the same area. It looks like Crawfordsville may go for it here on 4th down and 8, down 25-0.
Yeah, you have to.
Nope, they're going to line up to punt. The man who just scored the touchdown, Xander Wilbur, is Actually, that's Caleb Hanna's back to return, and that's a wobbly kick out of bounds at around the 46-yard line, so only 20 yards of field position there for Crawfordsville, and West Vigo will get the ball in Athenian territory with 8:40 remaining and a 25-point lead.
Again, we spoke about field position a little bit during halftime, Josh, and here we are, West Vigo. Scores a touchdown, comes out, gets a stop on defense, and boom, set themselves up really good on field position. You can't blame Saunders there kicking it into the wind, but man, that's what happens when your offense can't move the football. You lose the field position battle a lot.
So here comes Andrews and the Vikings, and apparently they weren't quite set yet because somebody moved right there. Take the snap, they'll hand it. That's Wilbur running to his right. Gets across the 40 and fights forward for an extra yard or two. Gain of about 5 or 6 on the play. As Wilbur has been very active so far here in the second half.
Yep. Give him a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Tell you what, West Vigo's not running between the tackles very often. They're finding a lot of positive yardage outside the tackles.
Coming up on 8 minutes left here in the third quarter. Here's Andrews, motion man across the formation. Take the snap and hand it to the back in the backfield, nice, and Crawfordsville not fooled there. Edgar Ruiz.
Nice play by Edgar.
Steps up and makes the stop immediately on Marcus Hollifield, the running back. And we talked about some of the bigger backs. Hollifield, the guy 5, said I believe that was 5'7", 148. So he would be qualified as, I believe, a scat back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not the kind of guy you would think would run between the tackles very often. But on a counter play, why not give it a shot? So good play by Ruiz, playing from his left defensive tackle position to make that tackle.
3rd and 5. Crawfordsville needs to stop something fierce here. Here's Andrews back to throw. Throws over the middle. Wide open man. It's caught at the 20. And gets to the 10. He's still on his feet. Gonzalez grabs him, takes him down. Is he in? He is not. Stopped short at the 1. 39-yard gain on the pitch and catch right over the middle of the field. And that'll be 1st and goal from as close as you can get.
Right. I'll tell you what. I thought the Vikings got away with a hold back here on Jesse Horton, but no penalty called. So give the Vikings another passing first down, 1st and goal at the 1 with 7:05 to go.
And they'll wind the clock, and here come the Vikings. They're going to spread everybody out. I'm expecting a run right up the middle here with Hollifield. Is everybody out to the left side of the formation except for Stroud on the near side. And now we'll have a timeout. West Vigo with 6:48 left. And you get that big stop from Ruiz to set up 3rd and medium. I won't say 3rd and long.
Right.
You get the big stop, and then they rip off another chunk of yardage. And again, Andrews just able to find the open man.
Yeah, just nice job by him, just staying in the pocket and letting the receiver, number 80, that is Yates, come across the middle wide open and just hits him, and he did a nice job almost getting in the end zone.
Yeah, give Gonzalez credit for being able to wrap him up.
Exactly.
That was quite the battle in that last 5 yards as Gonzalez was right on his back. And Yates, 6'4", 170 pounds. That's a load to bring down.
Right. Yep.
Especially once he gets into the open field. Such a tough assignment there. Teams are back out on the field. 6:48 left on the clock. West Vigo looking for another score here.
Looks like the same formation. They just flipped it. So.
Yep.
29's in the backfield.
That's Hollifield. The little guy, he got a handoff earlier, and he's got space. If they hand it to him, they'll throw it with Andrews. He scrambles around. Now will run into the end zone for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. Dane Andrews 1 yard out. And that's a tough one to stomach if you're the Crawfordsville defense.
Yep. 4 plays, 55 yards.
5 touchdowns.
Minute 57
Scored
off the
3
clock.
on the ground, and he's had 2 touchdown passes.
Such a big play to be able to fight in there for that touchdown. And now looking for point number 32 will be the kicker, Emma Stevens. Was able to convert the last attempt. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is up. This one's wide left and no good. So 31-0 stays your score with 6:43 remaining.
Now West Vigo 31 and Crawfordsville nothing on the Casey's General Store scoreboard. You're listening to Montgomery County High School football on Thunder 103.9.
So for Crawfordsville, they're going to need to answer back here on this next possession, as we're getting closer and closer to a running clock.
Right. What is the running clock? Do you know?
I don't know for Indiana.
Oh, okay. I don't think we have one. Yeah, we
don't have one?
Yeah, not
Illinois, we have one.
yeah.
I was on the other side of a few of those for my coverage out that way, but that's okay. Football's football.
Exactly.
Gotta love it. Lights taking full effect here. I think I will say about my time spent so far here in Crawfordsville, I would say all the facilities I've been to have been stellar.
Yes, yeah. All 3 county schools have very nice facilities. Yeah.
I've been very impressed. Been very impressed with the facilities out here. I've been very impressed with the fans that I've talked with. I've been impressed with the community. It's a lot of really good kids.
Now, where'd you come from in Illinois?
I grew up in Amboy, Illinois.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah, you can nod your head and say all right, but you have no idea where that is.
No clue. No clue.
You know where Rockford is?
No,
you heard of Rockford?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Coach Welliver says yes, so yes.
Yes. On the approach, Andrews will kick it away, and that goes into the arms. Nice grab there.
I'm not sure who that was.
I'm not sure who it was either. We'll see when he comes up, and that was
number 10.
That's Michael Hanover.
Michael Hanover. Yep.
That was
So,
Mike Hanover.
And that was a really nice catch, especially since I think it deflected off of somebody else before it got to him.
Right.
So Crawfordsville will set up 1st and 10. It'll be from about their own 40-yard line, and still looking for that first down. And Nathan Schroeder checking into the game. Schroeder, you talked about him a little bit. 6'4", 200 pounds out on the line.
Yep. Yeah, nice. He did a nice job. He's done a pretty good job on the defensive side. He's lined up at tight end here.
McCarty and Gonzalez crash into each other, trying to get lined up, and now Crawfordsville's going to call a timeout. They need to, because when your wide receivers are running back and forth and crashing into each other before the play, I think it may need a little bit more discussion and planning before you do that play.
Exactly. Yep. Let's see what we got here. North Montgomery trails Hamilton Heights 7-6.
That's a close game.
Oh, do what? North ahead now? Oh, yeah. North Montgomery leads Hamilton Heights 12-7. Update. Instant update. North Putnam leads Southmont 28-14 at half. That was the last update I had on them.
If I have a message from Jeff, he's out Fountain Central. Fountain Central up 28-0 at halftime over Riverton Park.
Wow. Wow. Danville leads Mooresville 20-14. Kind of some conference scores here. Let's see if I can find any more.
Back to action here. Here's Saunders in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right. 1st and 10 from the 41. He'll hand it off to the man across the formation. And again, we've talked about it all night. West Vigo just finding the ball and attacking it.
Yes.
Loss of 6 on the play.
That's what you can do when you have a 25-point lead. You know, you can just pin your ears back and go, and that's exactly what they're doing.
That's when you have to, as an offense, you have to take advantage of that aggressiveness and just take a shot.
Right, exactly.
That wind still blowing across the field from left to right on your screen, and the flag is moving. 2 receivers to Saunders' right. That's McCarty and Gonzalez. And he'll take the snap back to throw. Throws to looking for Gonzalez. That one off his hands, incomplete. On the coverage was Jarrell Scholler. And that's one thing that wind does, is it really takes away your ability to put the ball up in the air.
It does. It does.
They'll bring it up 3rd and 16.
Crawfordsville still seeking that first elusive first down here. 5:52 to go in the third quarter.
They'll break the huddle here. Trailing 31-0, 5:52 left on the clock. Saunders in the shotgun, 4 receivers out there. Latre in the backfield, hoping to help with some protection here. He's back to throw, sets his feet, lets one fly into the air, looking for McCarty, and it is incomplete. Just out of his reach, would have got the first down at around the 46-yard line. Caleb Hanna's on the coverage, will bring up 4th down and 16. The only other time I've said you really can't go for it here is the time a fake punt went for 63 yards and a touchdown. But
exactly.
I'll stick to my guns and say I don't think you can go for it on 4th and 16 from your own 35. So Saunders chatting with the sideline, and Andrew Martin coming in to...
I think he's going to be a gunner.
To relay whatever the answer was.
Right.
Wilbur back to return, and this one a high end-over-end kick into the wind, and a fair catch called for at the 42-yard line, and that was Caleb Hanna's making it. Good punt by Saunders, especially considering the wind, and he'll trot off the field and send his defense out there. 31-0 your score. West Vigo leading over Crawfordsville. Right here on the Crawfordsville Athletics YouTube channel. Josh Dillon, Scott Smith on the call.
Yep. We spoke about first half, Josh, how good the defense have been playing. And just, they had done a good job. We're put in a couple tough situations. But, boy, got to get a big stop here. Got to get a turnover. Neither team has a turnover yet. And other than Crawfordsville had a turnover on downs. But no actually putting the ball on the ground. But here's a sweep on jet sweep. And
that was in the hands of Caleb Hanna's running to his left. Took the handoff, got about 2 or 3 yards, and again, another good stop on first down. That was something you were looking for out of the halftime break, as you said, for Crawfordsville, you got to get yards on first and second down. The inverse applies on defense. You got to stop them on first and second down. Gain of 2. That's a good stop for Crawfordsville.
Exactly.
To bring up 2nd and 8 from the 44-yard line for West Vigo. 2 receivers to the right side of the quarterback, Dane Andrews. And he'll have a man to his left. 6'2", 205-pound quarterback takes the snap. He's back looking to throw again. Has time, sets his feet, throws deep. And that is intercepted. Picked off by, is that Suter or is that Gonzalez? That's Peyton Suter on the interception. And he'll take it back to the 34-yard line. And you said it. You wanted a turnover, and you got one. Andrews planted his feet and let it fly, and Suter, with his 2nd interception in 2 weeks, will set Crawfordsville up 1st and 10.
What do you get out to?
33.
So about a 14-yard return.
He'll take it.
Good play there by Peyton, finding the ball, turning around, finding the ball, and
making a really nice grab.
And getting it out to the 33-yard line for Crawfordsville.
McCarty split out wide to the right here for Saunders.
Saunders deep. In the shotgun.
Out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. He'll give it straight ahead. That's Latre spinning forward. Fights for a gain of about 2. Maybe 3 on the play with that extra effort at the end. 2nd down and 7. Latre is a 5'9", 167-pound senior, and he fights for every yard he gets.
He does. He's a tough runner. Runs north to south a lot. Doesn't like to run east to west. So runs uphill or downhill, whatever you want to call it.
2 receivers to Saunders left on this 2nd down and 8. He'll take the snap, and he'll hand it to Latre again, and now making a couple men miss, and spins forward for a gain of about 4.
About 5, yeah. We'll give him 5.
I can agree with that.
Third
and 3.
Yep, just what we've been talking about, what we spoke about a little bit earlier, Josh. Got to get 3rd and shorts to be successful. So,
well, the last time they had it 3rd and short, they were unable to convert.
Yep.
So we'll see what they can do here. 2 receivers to the right side for Saunders.
They're taking advantage of West Vigo blitzing up the middle, and Latrey's bouncing to that side and finding some room. So here's a pass by Saunders.
And it's caught. McCarty will pick up the first down. Gain of 5 on the play. McCarty on the in route. Able to make the snag, and there's that first down with 3:20 remaining in the third quarter. Better late than never.
Exactly.
As the Crawfordsville offense building off of that Suter interception. And remember, Suter earlier drew an offensive pass interference call as well, so he has been playing some tough coverage on these receivers outside.
He has.
1st and 10 from the Crawfordsville 45-yard line. Saunders out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to his left. He'll take the snap, looking to throw, fires, and the pass is intercepted. Saw it from a mile away and across the 30 to the 20. Only Saunders to beat, able to get around into the 5, and into the end zone is Jarrell Scholler. There's a flag at the end of the play. Flag line at the 9-yard line might be a face mask as Saunders was trying to bring down the defender. So Jarrell Scholler.
Touchdown away from Gerald Scholler.
That's actually looks like a face mask penalty on Scholler.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Wow, you don't see an offensive face mask penalty very often.
Is that what that was?
That's what it looked like. He was trying to fight away from Saunders, so you get the touchdown prevention. So interception returned all the way to the 9-yard line is the spot of the foul.
Yep. So out to the, looks like 10-yard penalty.
That's a legal block, not a face mask. So they will probably set it up at around the 18-yard line. So back-to-back turnovers from the 2 teams, and West Vigo will come out and tighten up the formation a little bit after an interception on their last drive. Here's Andrews under center, motion man across, and they'll hand it to the first man through, and a little leap fake there from Braden Hamrick as he was motioning around. But nobody fell for it. Gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. I think that was Scholler on the run. You're good. 2:33 left on the clock. 2nd down and 6 from the 15. Man in the backfield is Peyton Robbins. A motion across. Here's Scholler on the handoff. Across the formation and taken down almost immediately. Bunch of Athenians in on the stop, Jacob Weimer included. 2 minutes left in the quarter.
Scholler gets the interception. He gets the first 2 carries.
Oh, let him finish what he started, I guess, is the West Vigo mindset here. Yep. No gain on the play there for Scholler. He is not in there on this play, it looks like. 3rd down and 5. And it's a pitch to Wilbur, trying to get to the outside, and cuts back in, fights toward the first down, and really good play there by, I think that was the left tackle for West Vigo to not hold on the play. Gain of 6, and they're going to give him the first down, it looks like. They have the down marker spotted beyond the first down mark.
Yep, they get the first down.
That was Wilbur. 17.
Wilbur on the run this time.
Yep.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 9. Andrews under center, takes the snap. He just runs straight forward. Looked like it was a botched snap a little bit. He didn't have a good handle on it, so he just took off. Took a page right out of Saunders' playbook on that.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like, well, okay, whatever we were planning to do, can't do that anymore, so we'll just do this. And he fought forward for a yard. Which is better than fumbling the football.
Right.
Yep.
2nd and goal from the 6.
2nd and goal, ball 6-yard line.
Crawfordsville looking for a big defensive stop here. Takes the snap.
Oh, boy.
Hands off first man through the formation. And Crawfordsville able to take the big tackle. Jesse Horton able to get in on that one. And that'll be the end of your third quarter here. It's 31-0 your score. West Vigo leads over Crawfordsville. 12 minutes left in this one. Crawfordsville will have the wind for that final 12 minutes, and we'll have it right here for you on the Crawfordsville Athletics YouTube channel.
Well, third and goal here, Josh, from the 5-yard line. See what the Athenians can do.
It's going to be tough to see. It's been a rough time for them every time that West Vigo's got into the red zone. They've been able to get into the end zone, and the guy you have to key on is Andrews.
Right.
I mean, he's got the 3 short runs, although West Vigo has been happily content to put the ball in somebody else's hands, at least toward the end of this third quarter with the big lead.
Right.
I mean, why risk your quarterback in a 31-0 non-conference game? So.
Right.
We'll see how the Vikings want to approach this third down, and if you don't get it, then you send out your kicker to try a short field goal,
right?
Or you just go for it, I mean, depending on how you want to do it. The teams switch sides. Crawfordsville again will have the wind here in the fourth quarter. Although it's dying down a little bit, it's still having an impact, but not nearly as big. Here's Andrews under center. Takes the snap. He's going to throw into the end zone towards the middle. It's intercepted!
Intercepted by Andrew Martin. Andrew's got some speed. Oh, boy.
Martin to the 20.
Andrew Martin.
To the 30. Down the sideline and out of bounds at around the 40. As
little fun fact, Andrew Martin's stepbrother is Peyton Sooner, who just intercepted the last Athenian pass.
You know, I'd heard that before, so that is a... Gotta wonder what that throw was, actually.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I don't know what Andrews was doing, but Andrews throws the interception to Andrew, and we are back on offense for Crawfordsville.
I'm not sure why he threw that the way he did, but
so it'll be 1st and 10 from the Crawfordsville 34-yard line as the Athenians will have the ball with 11:57 remaining in the ball game. We'll see what Crawfordsville can dial up here on offense. We saw Latre get a few yards on the last possession. Here's Saunders out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to his left. And he'll fake the handoff now, runs up to his right. Gets across the 40, the 45, and goes out of bounds just short of midfield.
That's the biggest play from scrimmage the Athenians have had all night. 16-yard carry there by Saunders for the Athenians' second first down of the night.
That's a first down. Brandon Stroud was in pursuit of Saunders, and smart play by the quarterback to get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Right.
So they'll get it at midfield here, 1st and 10. Crawfordsville trying to march for a late game score. Gonzalez split out wide left with McCarty in the slot. This time they will hand it to Latre and battles off a couple tackles in the backfield. We mentioned how tough he is and fights forward to the 45-yard line. Dives close to the 44. And what good vision there by Stephen Latre to be able to just stay on his feet and be elusive and hold on to the football. That's a big one in terms of you get a play like that where you get hit 6 times in the backfield. You just got to keep bouncing off people.
Right, exactly. And that's a testament to keeping your feet moving, too. You know, I mean, keeping your feet moving, your eyes scanning the football field, and just a nice hard run by him. Pick up 6 big yards for the Athenians on first down.
2nd and 5 for Crawfordsville from the West Vigo 45-yard line. Here's Saunders out of the shotgun. Takes the snap back, looking to throw, and batted down at the line of scrimmage. And right there to knock it away is Eric Berry. Spelled differently than the former Kansas City Chiefs safety. Eric for Kansas, where the NFL Eric was E-R-I-C, and this Eric is A-R-R-I-C-K.
Exactly.
But it was a very Eric Berry-like play.
It was, very much so. From the line rather than defensive back. Eric Berry was a defensive back.
That's true.
From the Chiefs, so.
But he did bat a lot of balls down.
Yes, he did.
3rd and 5 from the 45. Here's Latre trying to fight forward. Keeps his feet moving and churns for maybe 1. Looks like they'll spot him at the original line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play. And that brings up 4th down and 5, and Crawfordsville in the fourth quarter. 10:40 left, down 31-0. At this point, you got some momentum. May as well.
You might as well go for it.
Fourth down, you got it.
So see what you can get here. As Saunders has found a little bit of time to throw, and when he gets time, he throws an accurate ball.
He does.
West Vigo Vikings. They're going to go with slot left. Wide.
Gonzalez split out wide left. McCarty in the slot. Latre in the backfield. For Saunders out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Sets his feet. Fires and takes a hit. Looking for Gonzalez. A lot of contact. It's intercepted.
Now there's a flag.
And there's a flag. Yep, there's a flag at the 23. A lot of contact at the top of that route. Pass was intercepted. Didn't see who finally came away with the football because it was up in the air.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I can't imagine that this. I mean, if it's on Crawfordsville, it's going to stand. But
right.
There was so much going on. This is going to be tough for them to sort out. Looks like maybe that was Gerald Scholler on the interception. He's standing over there. He's very interested in this discussion between the referees.
Yeah.
Hey, do I have my second interception of the day, or do I have to get back on defense?
Pass interference.
Defense.
Yep.
There was a lot of contact at the top of that route. And Saunders threw it off his back foot while he was getting hit and still put it kind of on the money.
Right.
Not the way you want to do it, but when you have to, it's fourth down. Well,
right.
That was the ball that I thought was coming up.
Yeah, the ball kind of popped up into the air. Gonzalez went up for it.
So it'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Should bring the ball to around the 30-yard line and end a first down for Crawfordsville.
Right, exactly.
So back-to-back first downs for the Athenians on this drive, and 30 yards away from pay dirt. This time around, they'll send a receiver out to each side. It's Gonzalez toward the top of your screen, McCarty at the bottom. Here's Saunders in the shotgun. Takes the snap, gives it to Latre, patient running up the middle, and makes a little move. One cut, goes forward, fights for a gain of about 4.
I tell you, it's not often you get Stephen Latre for just 1 or 2 yards.
Brings up second down and 6 from the 31.
So, second down and 6, give him 4 yards on that.
It's a very improved Crawfordsville offense in this fourth quarter.
37 remaining.
Split out wide to the left this time is Michael Hanover. McCarty in the slot. And then to the near side is Peyton Suter. Had an interception earlier in the half. We'll see what he can do here. And Saunders drops back. And the whole defensive line breaks through. So he rolls out to his left, scrambles, and gets to the 15-yard line before he finally goes out of bounds. Gain of 11 on the play. And you give Saunders credit. Yeah, that was a fire drill from the start.
Exactly. Yeah, he had guys in his face from the start. I mean, guys were coming right at him. So that's Crawfordsville's fourth first down of the quarter here.
They got it down to the 14-yard line. 1st and 10, 9:18 left on the clock. And somebody fell for the pump fake when Saunders was 8 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Not sure I like that idea from Cam's point of view. And it looked like he wanted to hand it to Latre. Latre went to block, and Saunders gets sacked in the backfield. Loss of about 6 on the play. Well, those plays, here, you take it. There's nobody here to take it.
Right.
I guess I'll just run.
I'll just go. So loss of 7 on the play brings up second and 17 from the 20.
Going to be a tough, and that's a timeout Crawfordsville with second and very long, 8:53 left in the final quarter here. And Scott, what have you noticed in terms of the way that the Athenians have been moving the ball here in terms of, just going out there and playing football?
Yeah, I mean, much better job here of guys sustaining their blocks. Latre still found some pretty tough running up the middle, but just a nice job by him keeping his feet churning. Cam Saunders has found some success running around the outside. So good job by the Athenians here moving the football down the field. Hopefully they can put it in the end zone. Reward this crowd for sticking with them and put it in the end zone here and make it give them a touchdown here late. So
always like to at least get some points on the board in your home opener.
Right, exactly. And they, tough conference opener next week with Western Boone coming.
Yeah.
And
that's going to be a rough one.
It's going to be tough. Yeah. It's pulled off a big upset here for the last victory 2 years ago. Beat beat Western Boone on a last-second touchdown. So, but I'm sure they're not going to sneak up on many tonight or next week.
So the team's back out on the field out of the timeout. 2nd down and 16 from the 20-yard line. McCarty in the slot to Saunders' right, and Hanover is split out wide right. The big senior quarterback rolling out to his right here, looking down the field, scanning, and he'll just throw it away. He threw it. It looked like he was trying to throw it away, and then it was in the direction of a receiver, and that was McCarty who came down with it, but the ball was out of bounds, so I'm pretty sure that's where he was going with it.
Right.
So I can either roll out and step out of bounds, or I can just throw it away and take my lumps and go back for 3rd down.
Right, exactly.
And that's a very veteran quarterback play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to turn it over there.
So 3rd down and long here. Jesse Horton out there in the slot to the left. 4 receivers in the formation for Saunders. He'll throw it to McCarty. And on the bubble screen, trying to find some space, and West Vigo there to wrap him up, take him down. Fought forward maybe to about the 18 for a gain of 2.
Right. McCarty just picked up a couple of yards there, and defense was on to it.
I tell you what, West Vigo does a nice job of closing space. I mean, they just looked like McCarty was going to get 5 or 6 yards, and they just closed it out and brought McCarty down for just a 2-yard gain.
He's got to turn and go at that point.
Right, exactly.
Take off.
Right.
4th and 14.
I thought they might try to run the...
I thought it was a double pass.
I did too. I thought it was a little flare out to Saunders out here to the left, and I'm not sure it wouldn't have worked.
2 receivers to Saunders left on 4th down. Takes the snap, rolling out to his left. Looking to throw, throws on the run, pass is caught. That's Horton diving forward, well short of the 1st down. Gets to about the 8, gain of 6. That'll be a turnover on downs for Crawfordsville.
Yeah, 84 is Carter Park. Oh.
That's 81.
Oh, it's Tom Harvard. Jesse Horton, all right. Forget he has 2 numbers. So Jesse Horton makes the catch, but it's not enough.
Turning and helping our counterparts here. As I don't like the 2-number system either.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line for West Vigo. 7:52 on the clock as the Vikings will try to run out the last of this quarter and preserve their shutout. Try to see if they still have Andrews, the starting quarterback, in there. Looks like he is still in there. He'll hand it off to the first man up the middle. He'll fight forward for about 5 yards.
29.
So that would be Hollifield on the run.
Yep, 5-yard gain for Hollifield.
Tough vantage point for us here in the booth now at this point.
Yeah, it's way down there.
2nd down and 5. And
that's either encroachment or false start.
Somebody moved. Who moved first?
The guy over here is saying false start. See what the guy over there says. It's going back 5 yards, so it is a false start.
Well, anytime you see the offensive lineman pointing at a defensive player, it's usually a false start.
Right.
He's trying to cover it up. And this isn't basketball where the whistle blows and then everybody points at each other and finally somebody puts their hand up and said, "Okay, fine, I'm the one that did it."
Yeah, exactly. Don't call it on our best player, call it on me.
And it's always somebody, like you said, who's never near the play.
Right.
Coming up on 7 minutes left, 2nd down and 10 from the 8-yard line. Andrews under center, pitches the ball. That's a new man running with the football, running to his right, gets the 15 across to the 16, gain of about 6 yards on the play. Gabe McAllister was the man. I saw the 3. I was just trying to figure out what the second number was. Looks like wow, he got further than I thought he did.
He fumbled it.
Oh, he must have, because Crawfordsville's headed out there. Yep, there's a fumble, so 3rd turnover for Crawfordsville. Okay.
I don't know who recovered it.
I didn't know there was a fumble.
I didn't either.
So looking around the press box, I don't think anybody else did either.
No, I don't think any of us.
We can't see the beanbag. So Saunders and the Athenians back out on offense. 1st and 10 from the West Vigo 16-yard line. take the snap and hand it off. Here's Latre fighting forward up the middle. Good play. One cut back toward the middle, gets to around the 10-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6, maybe 7 on the play.
Wow.
Logan Shepard on the tackle for West Vigo will bring up 2nd down and 4. There's Saunders out of the shotgun. Receivers to each side. Latre in the backfield. Take the snap. Gives it to Latre again. Another nice one cut. Dives forward. Gets close to the first down. He might have got it.
Wow. Western Boone leads Lafayette Harrison 26-0 with 1:08 to go in the 4th.
Wow.
That's huge. That is huge. That's next week's opponent. So, yeah, that's a 5A program that 2A Western Boone's beating.
Nice.
So, yeah.
3rd and 1 from the 7. Saunders out of the shotgun. And that's Latre. Lowers his shoulder and fights forward.
Boy, I don't know if they gave him the first down.
I don't think they did.
They called a 4th down right off the bat.
Called him short immediately, so Crawfordsville will have to fight on 4th down here, and Saunders will walk over to the sideline, talk with his coach, and head back with the play call. 4th and short, senior quarterback. I have to imagine you got to at least try a hard count, pull them offside, and get the free first down if you can.
Right.
McCarty in the slot to the left. Gonzalez split out wide left. Here's Saunders out of the shotgun. There's the hard count. Nobody jumped. He'll take the snap. Hands it to Latre, running right. Has to be patient. Falls forward. It's close.
He got a first down.
And
he's inside.
There we go. That little cutback.
Yep, little cutback at the end there helped him get it.
So 1st and goal from the 4-yard line for Crawfordsville. Latre running with purpose here in the 4th quarter.
4.5 minutes to go. Crawfordsville 1st and goal from the 4.
You got to keep feeding it to him.
Right, exactly.
At this point, with how strong he's been running, I think you got to keep handing it to him. He's behind Saunders here. 2 receivers to the left side of the quarterback. Back to pass. Saunders looking, gets hit as he throws. Looking for McCarty, throws it out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete.
Good play by Cam. Didn't have anything. Just stood out the back of the end zone.
Took a big hit on the play. That was Scholar, the DB blitz.
That was a good play by Cam just to throw it out of the back of the end zone. Let's play another down. Not try to force it into either one of the... Both guys were well covered in the end zone, so...
Second time he's done that.
Yep.
So it'll bring up 2nd down and goal from the 4. Latre in the backfield. Gonzalez to the left, Suter to the right. Weimer to lead the way for Latre here, and West Vigo collapses. Big hit on the play. That was Ethan Burgess coming through to force 3rd and goal.
I tell you what, you could see before that play was even snapped, they were bringing everybody up the middle. I mean, they had 3 linebackers coming right back up the middle, and that's right where the play went. So,
loss of 1 brings up 3rd and goal from the 5. Saunders
got him.
Throws, passes. Juggled, tipped into the air, and it is
nope,
incomplete.
Boy, good play, good try out there by Anthony Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gonzalez laid out for it, and it was tipped into the air, and it was floating up there for a little while up for grabs, and Gonzalez, full extension into the end zone, could not quite corral it. 3:31 left in the 4th quarter. 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. Crawfordsville looking for their first touchdown of the season.
Nope, they're going to bring out. They're going to bring out Anthony Cook.
Anthony Cook.
Yep. Maybe going to try a field goal.
Timeout called. I see the reasoning on both sides of this. You don't want to get shut out, but
right. Your fourth and goal from the 5. Home opener. Give you guys something to build on for next weekend. I'd like to see him go for it here. But
Yeah, but I mean, we're done.
Coach Gerald, he wants to get points on the board.
Yep.
Get something positive going for next week, and
we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens out of the timeout. Maybe they change their mind.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe it's a fake field goal. Who knows?
And you know what? Wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't.
Not at all.
Saw a fake punt touchdown earlier. May as well see a fake field goal touchdown too.
Exactly.
Crawfordsville has had a better showing here in the fourth quarter offensively than they did in the season opener last week against Greencastle, although that was muddy field conditions that nobody could play offense in. I mean, Greencastle had negative 2 yards passing in that game.
Right.
Exactly. So that's a game where you really can't chart offensive production.
Right.
Saunders in the offense back out there now for 4th and goal from the 5. Hanover is the receiver to Saunders' left, isolated by himself. McCarty in the slot to the right. Gonzalez split out wide right. Latre in the backfield. 4th and goal. Saunders throws the fade, looking for Gonzalez, and it is caught for the touchdown! Ripped it away from the defender. What a catch by Gonzalez. Simultaneous catch goes to the offense. And the battle of threes. Gonzalez comes away for 6 over Brandon Stroud.
And Saunders to Anthony Gonzalez.
Whew.
Wow.
Gonzalez actually ripped the ball out of the hand.
And that'll bring up an extra point attempt here for Anthony Cook. Saunders will hold it. Cook is going to get a pretty good start in kicking this extra point. He's a few yards back. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up. It's high, end over end, and through the uprights. Good. So 31-7 your score with 3:27 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So they went 16 play. Oh, I'm sorry.
That would have been. I mean, there was a lot of plays.
8 plays, 16 yards in 8 plays. Took 3 minutes and 18 seconds off the clock. So Crawfordsville was able to score a touchdown here in their home opener. They trail West Vigo 31-7.
Set up by a fumble that nobody saw besides whoever fell on it.
Exactly.
But, again, always good to get points in your home opener.
Right.
And to get points in that manner on a very well-thrown fade route. Defender came away with the original touch on the ball, perhaps, but Anthony Gonzalez shows some toughness, comes away with the football, and that's 6 points. So Crawfordsville ready for their second kickoff of the night. And back to return here, Jordan Zedell for West Vigo. Oh, excuse me, that's Wilbur back there. So we'll see what Crawfordsville wants to do here on the kickoff. That's 6 men to the right side, or to the near side anyway. But with the way Cook's lining up, going to get a good running start here for Cook. He's a senior.
Squibb kicked it last time. We'll see what he does here.
He's got the wind. High kick. What a nice kick toward.
Oh, boy, he fumbles it.
There's Wilbur putting the ball on the ground. Gets it to the 15 after he picks it up. And a big tackle there. Good hit by Kagan Fields, the freshman.
Yep.
He's up and it makes the hit. And good coverage. Sets up 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line for West Vigo. Crawfordsville has a pair of interceptions today, one from Peyton Suter and one by Andrew Martin in the end zone.
Yeah, the last 3 West Vigo drives have ended in interception, fumble. So, and again, I don't know who came away with that fumble. I have no.
I didn't know it was a fumble until Crawfordsville was on offense.
Right, exactly.
Andrews still in there for West Vigo under center. He'll take the snap, turns, gives, running to the right is Gabe McAllister, the man who fumbled last time, and he'll fight forward for a gain of about 3 or 4. We'll bring up 2nd down and 7. 3 minutes left in the ballgame.
Yep. You won't see the ball off the ground here. It'll be run. So, sure
I don't know. I think Andrews would like to throw one more before the end of this one, and we got a illegal substitution. I mean, we shouldn't see anything besides the run game.
Right.
I also wouldn't have guessed there'd be a fake punt on 4th and 26.
Right.
But
exactly. But you know what? Nobody was on him. You know, I mean.
So back him up 5. It'll be 2nd down and 11 from the 17-yard line. 2:45 left on the clock. West Vigo leads 31-7 over your Crawfordsville Athenians. Here's Andrews under center. Takes a snap, and we got a whistle and another offensive penalty. So it'll back him up 5 more for 2nd down and 16.
Yep.
At this point, Andrews is going, hey, now I need to throw it so we can get the first down.
Exactly. Yeah, he would be doing this on purpose. That's West Vigo's 8th penalty for 65 yards.
Telling the offensive lineman, hey, back us up a couple times.
Yeah, exactly. Send those receivers in motion just to make them run towards the line of scrimmage.
First, one thing is that the clock keeps running off of all these all these penalties. Here's
a handoff to 33 again. Oh,
yep.
Boy.
McAllister fighting forward, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So, it'll be 6-7 yards. We'll bring up 3rd down and 9. We're under 2 minutes left. Minute 45 left on the clock. The center's ready to go, and everybody else is still kind of lagging behind. 10 seconds on the play clock here. West Vigo taking the game clock down as much as possible. Here's the motion. Fakes the pitch and hands it off to the first man through. If I had to bet money, I'd say that's probably McAllister on the run.
That's what I would say, too.
And gets a gain of about 1 yard before he's taken down.
We're going to give it to McAllister.
So it might have been Hollifield. I saw him come out of the pile, but we'll give it to McAllister.
Yeah, what the heck.
So now
we'll bring up 4th down for West Vigo.
Andrews will have to get ready to punt it away here. It's in punt formation anyway. Andrew Martin back to return, and that punt almost blocked. It'll wobble and bounce past the 40 to about the 43 before it's finally downed. 40.4 seconds left, and they say there are no moral victories, but if Crawfordsville can get a touchdown in this final 40 seconds, I think that would qualify as a moral victory.
Oh, I agree.
You got the wind with you, 40 seconds left. See what you can do. 43 yards away from the end zone for the Athenians. Last time out, got a touchdown on 4th and goal from the 5-yard line on a pass from Cam Saunders to Anthony Gonzalez on a fade route. Suitors out there split wide right. McCarty in the slot to the left. Gonzalez split wide left. And Saunders out of the shotgun with Latre on his left hip. 40 seconds left in the ballgame. Here's the snap. They'll hand it straight. That's not Latre. That's Kagan Fields on a run. And he's tackled it around midfield for a loss of about 7.
Loss of about 5, yep.
So no sense of urgency here in the 31-7 ball game. Here comes Crawfordsville. Saunders standing in his own territory. 5 seconds left on the game clock. They hand it off. That's Fields again, fighting forward, and that'll end the ball game on a gain of about 2 yards. So 31-7 is your final, as West Vigo comes away with the victory. Next week, Crawfordsville will have another tough task in front of them as the Stars of Western Boone. As we've said earlier, they are currently in the lead against a 5A program.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the score is, but yeah.
They were leading, and that's a dangerous team. Everybody I've talked to in terms of the coaches have said that's probably going to be the one that gets out of the conference. So they're pretty tough, and they're going to be here next Friday.
Right, yeah. Last we knew, they were leading Lafayette Harrison pretty significantly. So be a big test for these young Athenians next Friday night with Western Boone coming to town. Chance to start Sagamore Conference play. And it doesn't get any easier. They go to Danville the following Friday. So two big games for Crawfordsville here coming up the next 2 weeks. So, hey, good to get one in the end zone here late, and something to build on hopefully for next week.
Well, for my partner Scott Smith, I'm Josh Dillon, and once again, your final score here, West Vigo 31, Crawfordsville 7. You've been watching the Crawfordsville Athenians on Crawfordsville Athletics YouTube. Everyone, have a good night.